Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, July 24th, 2020. Welcome to another eBay video. Today we're going to be discussing specifically the climate of eBay right now. What it's like to be an eBay seller in July 2020 and some of the many problems you, myself, all of us are experiencing. And we're also going to take a close look at eBay's reaction to these problems, and in some cases, lack of reaction. We're going to get started, as we always do. I'm going to read your comments, questions, and concerns from last week's video. The first one is from 5797029, Mike. He wrote, "The message I woke up to started with, 'Do you accept returns? How easy is the return process?' This doesn't sound good," while red flags went up. "I need to block this one. Too late. They already purchased it. I shipped it out. Only a $24 item. A female name is on the label." A few days later, I receive a return request along with pictures showing a tiny broken chunk of plastic on the mechanism of the glove box latch. I received the return, so I figured I would do the refund. I completed the return on the app on my phone. First time using the app for a return. On the screen it showed $24 with shipping of $0. Total refund $24. I had no option to select the original shipping, so I just clicked refund. But there was shipping charged. You guessed it. Now we're waiting for the buyer to complete the refund. Once again, eBay customer service was clueless on another one. I got a question for you, Mike. This is not quite clear. What was the reason that the customer put for the return? Was it not as described? Or was it doesn't fit? Or whatever? I need to know that. Because I never refund original shipping unless, of course, the error was mine. This is very important, and I really think you need to address that. And also, I strongly suggest you never, ever do a refund on the phone. Why would you do that? You know how troublesome plague the app is. At least I find it that way. It's good for basic needs, communicating with your buyers and things like that. It's very good for that. But as far as listings, I wouldn't use it. Also, you mentioned about when people ask too many questions, how you block them. And I don't blame you a bit. But let me tell you a really quick story, what happened to me just the other day, because it does basically touch on this topic and cancellations. So a few days ago, maybe 5 days ago, a guy buys a Mustang alloy wheel center cap from me. Pays right away because I require immediate payment. Within 2 minutes, I get a cancellation request. The guy wants to cancel. I'm like, oh no, here we go. So the first thing I decide to do before I even address that is I want to block this guy because he's going to be trouble. Do you know that within maybe 45 seconds before I could even block him, he goes ahead and buys a second Mustang alloy wheel center cap from me? Not the same one he just bought, a second one. Then he writes to me and says, "Could you cancel the first one because I purchased the wrong item? I need the type in the second listing that I already purchased." So I figured since he is still buying the item from me, I'd go ahead and cancel. Something I usually don't do, but since he's still going to buy from me, I would do it this time, and I did it. I canceled the original purchase. He gets the item, bang, opens a return request. This is not the right cap for my alloy wheel. And he sends me pictures of the cap I sent him, the back of it, and the one he currently has. And it clearly shows different part numbers. This clown did not do any research whatsoever, so now I finally did block him. Raymond Hines wrote, Joe, an entertaining and informative filled video as always. I have a customer who in this COVID time did not get his package in the original estimated time. No surprise there, right? He said he had no use for it as he missed a couple important events he needed it for. I told him to refuse delivery when it did arrive for a full refund of all costs once I got it back. He turns around and says it arrived, but since he has a communal mailbox, he was unable to refuse delivery. He went on to say that he thought a 50% refund was in order for his inconvenience. I nicely told him to put it back in the box with a refusal note, once again for a full refund. This conversation was taking place in an eBay open case. He then opened a SNAD dispute with PayPal for a 50% refund. Does he have me over a barrel? I want to tell you something, Raymond Hines. According to eBay rules, buyers are not ever supposed to refuse a purchase. That is against eBay rules. So if I were you, I would not tell them to do that. Simply say, if you don't like the item, return it, and I'll give you a refund at that time. As far as these guys jumping from eBay to PayPal with these cases, I'm having the same problem right now as we speak. Same exact problem, only the guy wants a full refund, and I still don't have the item back yet. As far as the PayPal 50% refund goes, I don't think you have anything to worry about because I'm pretty sure PayPal would require him to ship the item back to you for a full refund and upload tracking. I don't think PayPal would do a 50% refund in this case. Duncan VR wrote, Hi Joe, I think eBay should tell sellers who the watches are when we're sending offers to watches. They should allow us to deselect certain watches when we send offers, so we're not sending offers to fitchery blob test tube creations. Yes, buyers can get away with anything on eBay, which is totally crazy. Those birds sure look happy near the Fitchy birdhouse. Those eBay error messages seem to be non-stop lately. Try sending an invoice and you get an error straight away. What he's referring to is if you send an offer to a watcher, okay, and the watcher accepts your offer, and you go to send him an invoice, you will automatically get an error message that says you may not send an invoice from this page. You have to jump here, and there's another link you got to click. That error has been prevalent since day one, and eBay refuses to fix it. I honestly believe, and this is me, you guys are free to disagree, I honestly believe that eBay's coding system is so archaic that they still have 1 or 2 abacuses in use. Now, I know Dennis Copper is going to fight me on this. He tells me they have a state-of-the-art coding system and they can do this at the flip of a switch, but I haven't seen it. I freaking haven't seen it. Do you guys think eBay's coding system is state-of-the-art and up-to-date as it should be? Or do you think they're working out of a cave? Please give me your opinion. For myself and for Dennis, we both are very curious about this. Straight Hype wrote, at eBay, if a seller blocks a buyer, it should also block his IP address automatically when doing so. How hard is that to understand? SMH. Straight Hype, sounds like a great idea, I'm with you, but I don't think eBay is prepared to implement it. I don't think they're capable of implementing it. And let's just say, for the benefit of the doubt, they did implement it. You know that you have fishy people like that oily blob right there that have the capability of masking and changing their IP addresses to commit fraud and hurt sellers. That's a fact. Vicky Clark wrote, I don't know why eBay allows people to open so many accounts. They're the only ones that allow someone to have multiple accounts. There is no reason for anyone to have 10 accounts unless they're a bad buyer or seller. I've been on eBay for almost 20 years and I have never had more than 2 accounts. One for buying and one for selling. Also, I would give anything if eBay would let us set up a block for people that have a history of cancellations. We can block buyers that have non-paying bidders or are countries we don't sell in. But what about those that leave a history of bad feedback or cancel consistently? I wish we could generally block those people so we never have to deal with them in the first place. It doesn't guarantee anything, of course, if it's their first offense, but as we all know, most of these buyers that have canceled items or left bad feedback for us without contacting us have done it many times in the past. I think it would at least help protect us from some of those fishy buyers that are more of a problem than they are worth. Love it. I freaking love that idea. eBay won't do it. When I'm done reading these comments, I'm going to tell you something that I heard, and it's going to disturb you guys greatly. So please, I want everybody to be calm for when that point of the video comes up, because it ain't good. Charles Foreman wrote, "Joe, I've been telling you about buyers can do anything now on eBay for the last couple of years, and it's getting worse. Until eBay does something about these buyers, they will keep doing what they want with the backing of eBay. Joe, all our sellers on eBay are liars and scumbags and want to screw all buyers over again and again, and eBay is keeping a very close watch on us sellers. We sellers can never do anything right as far as buyers and eBay are concerned. Do anything wrong and they will jump on sellers who are the ones who are keeping eBay afloat. No sellers, no buyers, and eBay would be out of business as it's the sellers that pay all the fees to eBay. Thanks, Joe. Charles in the UK." Charles, yes, we've used this argument for years, but eBay is turning a deaf ear. Over the years, as eBay grew and grew, I've told you guys about the various generations of eBay. During the early years, there was the eBay Wild West. Let's say from the late 90s to the mid 2000s, where basically buyers and sellers were equal, but there was no governing and everybody did whatever they basically wanted. Then the dark days of eBay, when John Donahoe took over, eBay declared war on sellers, and it was a miserable place to sell and eke out a living. Those of you guys who have been with me during my early days on YouTube, 2007 to 2012, will well remember I would come out here every week or almost every week and put eBay and PayPal on full blast. I would expose all the kinds of things that were going on. It was just a crazy time. Starting around 2012, 2013, things started to change. eBay became a lot more seller-friendly and things were looking up for us. And that was reflected in my videos. But this last year, and what I'm going to tell you shortly, it's not been that way. Not at all. Buyers have free reign to do whatever they want. Now sometimes it's a he said, she said situation. You know, does the item work? Well, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I get that. All right, sometimes eBay cannot take the side of the buyer or the seller. But there are many times when we sellers can show eBay concrete proof in eBay messages where the buyer has filed a false return saying pictures do not match item description, just to get the free shipping back. And then in the comments section, the buyer will admit that they bought the wrong size or they bought it on eBay Mobile and they didn't read. And eBay, A, will do nothing to help us, and B, will do nothing to sanction the bad buyer. And I think we're all getting sick of it. Rated R Forever wrote, "The number one thing I wish eBay would bring back is the ability for sellers to leave negative feedback, as this is where eBay went all the way downhill ever since they took away the seller's ability to leave negative feedback." Rated R Forever, truthfully, I wish we could leave negative feedback for bad buyers, but I have to be honest. there were quite a few sellers abusing the privilege. And I'm going to put that out there because one thing about myself and my videos is I call it as I see it. All right? I don't hold back. I don't sugarcoat. There were a good number of sellers that would leave retaliatory feedback for buyers. For instance, let's say the seller was selling a factory item or claimed they were selling a factory item, but they sent the buyer a cheap China knockoff. The buyer requested a return or something and the seller would not hear anything, wouldn't deal with them, wasn't interested. The buyer would then, rightly so, leave the bad and fishy seller negative feedback, only to have the fishy seller turn around and leave the buyer negative feedback even though they didn't do anything wrong. This is true and I saw it myself firsthand. So I do understand eBay's stand in this, but I also, on the other hand, as a seller, wish we could leave bad buyers negative feedback. And what I have suggested for years, anytime a buyer does not pay, whether it be an auction, fixed price, offers to watches, those buyers should be allowed to be negged. I don't think any one of you guys will disagree with me, but I'm sure eBay would. ZXC wrote, "Where are your comments about the nasty, cold, rainy, cloudy weather? I read it's going to be 100 in some places in the Northeast soon. Good use for your old YouTube whiteboard with the fishy blob in its place." He's referring to that oily mess on the bottom there. We're going to have heavy thunderstorms shortly. We've had them almost every day this week. Heavy thunderstorms, heavy rain and wind. Shane Punham wrote, "Joe, have a fishy license plate holder made with your company name on it. Great side advertising or bumper stickers." Kelly Garnett wrote, "Hey Joe, maybe you should get Teespring to produce some Crazy New York Driver merchandise with fishy in a red circle with a strike through. On the back, don't be fishy. I think they'd sell, in my humble opinion." And I certainly do too. And you know, that is something I really need to move on. But the thing is, I'm always so busy with eBay, listing stuff and doing stuff, I really don't have any spare time. Unlike some people who never leave the house 24/7 and have what they call a hacker's tan because they're all doughy looking and bloated and Last comment is from Jim Burns. "That's just fitchalicious." Alright guys, I got several things I want to cover now, so let's sit down. First item, I want to discuss something that happened to me. I made a short video last Saturday night, which I had fully planned to upload last Saturday night or Sunday. When I first watched it, it appeared that I came across really loud and really vociferous. I mean, those of you guys who remember my rants back in 2007, this, in my opinion, was equal to that. And I said to myself, do I really want to put this video up? It's such a negative video. So I let it sit all week. Now that it's Friday, I've thought about it, and considering some of the things that I've heard that happened during the week to some of you, and some of the things I've seen on the Facebook group, I've decided to release the video as part of this video. So I'm now going to do a cutaway, and I'm going to show you how I got scammed by a fishy buyer, how eBay knows it, and how eBay refuses to act. Let's go there now. Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Saturday, July 18th, 2020. Welcome to another eBay video. Today I'm only going to discuss one topic and one topic only, how I was scammed on eBay, and how eBay seems to be complicit in this kind of action because they refuse to do anything about it, even when the evidence is presented in a clear and factual manner. So let's get started from the very beginning. Please pay attention to the screen as I walk you through this. On June 19th, this person here, KCon 980908, joined eBay specifically to buy this item from me. You can clearly see in the condition it says daily driver beater condition, a dent as shown in picture number 4, good clips. If we mouse over the main picture, there's your dent, and if we click over to picture number 4, you can clearly see that dent, okay? The item was on sale for $20.25 with $17 shipping. The next thing that happens is on June 28th. This person files for a return. I accept 30-day returns for any reason. However, this person lied like a rug. I'm going to show you now at what they claimed. This is the exact snapshot of the return. She claims, I didn't know it had damage before I ordered it. Could not enlarge the picture with my phone. I didn't see any ad, only a picture. So basically what she's saying, let's jump back here. She's saying she bought this without reading any of this because she bought it on mobile. I am no fan of mobile, as you know, but it's the buyer's responsibility to read the listing. You can clearly see she admits she did not know it had any damage because she did not read. All she saw was a picture. It clearly says that here. She's claiming falsely it doesn't match description or photos. Yet, she says it has a dent, and it does have a dent. How does this not match the description or photos? She is lying. So at the time, I called eBay, and the customer service representative told me to wait until the item was returned, then to call them, because it said right here in black and white, she admitted she didn't read the description. So weeks go by and nothing happens. On the date of July 7th, she opens a case against me. This is what I would refer to as double jeopardy. eBay is so screwed up. This woman firstly opened a return, which was accepted, no problem there. All she had to do was send the item back. But instead of sending it back, she held it for another 2 weeks. Now she opened a case. So what that did was it made this information disappear. All I could see was the case. So I called eBay customer service once again. Customer service agent said, well, he said to me, it's clearly not your fault. You did nothing wrong. So you will not get a defect on this case. However, you will have to pay return shipping. So today, Saturday, I got the item back. They gave her back the $37.25 she paid me, which includes original shipping, plus I had to pay another $17 shipping to get this item back. This is a clear-cut case of buyer remorse, and I think it's disgusting. I'm really bent out of shape about this. If you've been watching my videos the last few weeks, my Friday night videos, this is the case I've been referring to repeatedly back and forth. You know, I am beside myself right now how people can start these fake accounts. They can claim anything they want, and eBay will do nothing about it whatsoever. Oh, sure, I won't get a defect. That's because I screamed holy hell about it. But if I hadn't called up, and if this happened to somebody else, they may well have gotten a defect if they did not call up. I'm really, really disgusted about this whole thing. You know? My advice to you guys, 2 things. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Number 1, block, KCON 980-908. The odds of this person buying from you are almost dead zero. They signed up with eBay specifically to buy this item and claimed, unbelievable, that they didn't see the dent, and that they didn't read this, and that they didn't read any of this. And if they didn't read any of that, it falls on them, not on the seller. So guys, I hope you've learned an object lesson from this short video. I will continue to expose scammers as long as I live. Anytime this kind of thing happens to me, I'm making a video about it. And I respectfully urge you guys to do the same. Every Friday night, a few of you guys come out and cry and moan about how you got scammed. And while it's a shame and while it's tragic, you bear some of the responsibility. Because the louder we scream, the more of a chance eBay will listen to us. I need some of you guys to scream when you get scammed, and you have to show concrete proof. Don't just throw somebody under the bus with no proof. Show the proof. Show what they said in their messages. How dare she say it doesn't match description or photos when it certainly did? Thank you for watching this video. I hope you make a lot of successful sales on eBay, but if you do have a problem, guys, we want to know about it. Let us know. Thanks for watching. I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. Rock on and peace. And as always, don't be like this buyer right here. Don't be fishy! Before we do anything else, I'm going to take my first drink from the ceremonial Fox News Cup O' Life. This is the ceremonial Fox News Cup O' Life. Happy is he who drinks from it. Very good on this murky, nasty day. I would like your comments and concerns, guys, on the cutaway that I just showed you. It is 100% obvious the buyer, the Fitchy buyer, scammed me. She bought the item on mobile, which is mistake number one. She claims the description did not load. She bought it looking at the pictures. It's her fault, not mine. I did nothing wrong. I described it accurately. She hung herself in the comments, and eBay doesn't care. Like they have said to many of you, hey, it's just the cost of doing business. They seem to be adapting a laissez-faire attitude where hands off, we don't want to get involved. We just want to rake in the money on the fees. What do you guys think? Talk to me. While we're on this topic, I have something of a very serious note I want to tell you guys. I don't know how to even start this one. I will first put out a disclaimer, and I will tell you that eBay did not tell me this directly. eBay told this to a person I know, another seller, one of you guys, I'm not going to mention their name. They called eBay to complain about a problem they were having with a bad buyer. And they were not getting any satisfaction in their call. The eBay representative is said to have told them something to this effect. Listen, we are going to tighten up the reins even more. We are going to become even stricter with sellers and even more lenient with buyers. I swear to you, this is what I was told. And if this has any grain of truth to it, we're all in trouble. It's still crazy how we all have, or most of us have, open returns over 35 days. I've got them. I've got 5 of them right now. This is crazy. Come on, guys. Even up the playing field a little here. We're sellers. We're trying to make a living. We're doing the right thing. I would say 99.9% of you guys, right there, you who are selling on eBay are good, honest sellers who ship your item in a timely manner, and it's exactly as described. eBay is treating all of you myself, like that blob thing on the bottom. We are not bitchy, okay? We're not that guy. We are honest, hard-working sellers whose feedback, reputation, and integrity shows what we are. So why are we treated like the forgotten son? I don't get it. I don't freaking get it. Hopefully I'll have more information for you in the near future as soon as I find out more, but I'm just telling you this is what I was told. Just keep it in mind is all I'm saying. Keep it in mind. I am not telling you guys to overreact. I am not telling you to stop selling on eBay. Absolutely not. In fact, just the opposite is true. I suggest every one of you list as much as you can right now, all right? There's still money to be made. I had another great week, no complaints whatsoever. I can't remember the last time I had a slow week on eBay, and I do predict this is going to continue for the foreseeable future. A lot of people are coming to eBay, new buyers, they're flocking to eBay. I had gotten a ton of zero feedback sales this week. Hey, as long as the person is a legit buyer and willing to buy my item, I don't care if they have zero feedback, just as long as they don't cause me any problems down the road. What I'm saying now again is, I do believe that our sales will continue to be very good and very strong for the rest of the year. But just keep your eyes open, because I heard in the wind that eBay is not going to be all that seller friendly, all right? So just keep that in mind. One more topic I want to cover before I let you go. I know we're running really late today, but there's nothing I can do about that. This information has to get out there, and I'm going to put it out there. Simple as that. I was watching John's video the other day regarding direct liquidation. I don't know if any of you guys buy pallets from these various consigners, but there's a company called Direct Liquidation. If any of you guys have had any traffic or any dealings with them, please comment below. John made a very long video, about an hour long, where he bought this pallet. He looked at the manifest before he made the purchase, and it clearly showed the items that were supposed to be in there, including 3 expensive money-making items. So John knew if he bought this pallet, he would make money because of these 3 items. They were the standouts. So John ordered the pallet. I think it was around $1,900 with shipping. They brought him the pallet. He went through all the merchandise, and what happened? They cherry-picked those 3 items out. Maybe somebody at the warehouse did it. I don't know who did it. But this is not an unusual story. In fact, if I think about it, I'm going to put a link below to John's video, the unboxing video. I want you to see this. And my question is, if this was you, if you were John, how would you react? I'm telling you, if it was me and I bought something like that and it didn't come with the items that were described and listed on the manifest, I would put them on blast. I would have a video entitled, "Do not do business with direct liquidation," because that's how I roll. You'll understand more why I'm a little bit worked up about this when you see how they refused to work with John in the very end. They made him a half-assed promise, then they reneged on that. But you'll have to watch his video to learn the story. I am a person that believes in protecting other sellers. And when I hear about companies that are fishy in nature, or people like the Blob that are fishy in nature, I'm going to expose them. So yeah, that's it for this video. We've gone way over time this week. Guys, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thank you for watching this video. Each week I come out here and I make these videos to try and help you stay successful on eBay. If you think I'm doing a good job, please leave me a thumbs up. If you don't think I did a good job, please tell me in the comments section what you'd like me to hit up, and I'll be glad to do it if possible next week. Remember, I'm a seller friend, not a seller critic or skeptic of any kind. I've solved a lot of problems. I'm still making money online. I've never worn a mask and I never will. I have never distorted my voice because I feel that's unscrupulous and dishonest and just fishy, and it's plain wrong. So yeah, I'm a CEO and a CFO of my own company. Thanks for watching, guys. Comments, questions, concerns below. Hope you make a lot of money on eBay this week. Rock on and peace! And remember, don't be fishy!